Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie Rose. I had an amazing encounter this morning that I would like to tell you about. So I walk every morning and I've been noticing it for the past few weeks that there is a silver hawk that lives in my neighborhood. And I've noticed that she loves to land in this particular tree that I walk under. And the first time it happened, I was just in awe. I hadn't seen her before, and she was so gorgeous. And her feathers just caught the light, and she looked almost white. And I just stopped under the tree and just looked up at her and talked to her and told her how beautiful she was. And for the past few weeks, every once in a while, she'll still land in that tree just as I walk under it. And so I always greet her and say hi. And this morning, I saw her flying as I was walking up to the tree, and then I saw her land in the tree. But just as I was walking up to it, I realized that there was a man with his dog on that side of the street. And I just had a feeling that I needed to get over to the other side of the street. And so I listened to those little intuition moments and just gave them their space. And so I walked over to the other side of the street, and she was looking at me like, what are you doing over there? And so I stopped and I put my hands together and I just bowed my head to her as a sign of respect and greeting. And she took off from the tree and kind of like sailed a little bit along the along like my path along my route. And then she kind of took off and went all further into the neighborhood, and I could just hear all the commotion that she was creating because, you know, all the other birds in the area, for them, she's dangerous. And so I could hear them all just calling at her and chirping. And so I, continue on my walk. And as I was coming close to my house, um, I saw her again, kind of like it was real windy. And so she was catching the gusts and she was kind of like flying in the gusts and letting them carry her just with her wings just straight out. It was so cool. And so I stopped to watch her for a moment, and she came right toward me, and she, like, just as she was about to reach me, she stopped in midair and just hovered there for a few seconds because another wind gust had come from the other direction, and the wind just embraced her and just held her like in that spot. And I was just in awe. And I probably said out loud, wow. And then the wind kind of changed and it carried her away and she flew off. And so I put my arms up, just like straight out. And I walked the rest of my way with my arms straight out and let the wind kind of lift me along as I walked home. And I was having such a good time with it that I walked right past my house and had to turn around and come back. But it made me remember when I was a little girl. I was very, very small. I was a very petite child. I was always the shortest in my class. And I used to hold my coat out like wings when it was windy outside on the playground and try to let the wind lift me. And I always hoped it would make me fly. Well, this one time, it did lift me. It was a super windy day, and it lifted me just slightly, just the littlest bit, but it was enough that I felt my feet leaving the ground, and I got so frightened, and I quickly put my coat down, and I got close to the ground and was just so scared, and I didn't do it again that day. Um, but I often daydreamed, what if I hadn't been scared? What if I had just let the wind carry me? Where would I have gone? And I really feel like this hawk today is bringing us a message to surrender to the flow, surrender to the wind, just let it carry us. And being that today is 8:20, I feel like it's really a manifestation of finding balance with Source and allowing Source to just carry us through life. Today was a little bit of not a rough day, but there were a few challenges that came in my path that I felt the need to control. Like, oh, I can fix this, or I'm going to make this work how I think it should work. And I was stopped. Every time this happened, I would just stop and pause, and I would remember to just surrender and know that Source has me. Source is embracing me along this journey, and everything's already set to lay out exactly the way it should. And as soon as I would surrender, not only would I become peaceful, but I would also, everything would work out. Everything just worked out. And so I just think that today, on this specific day, this encounter is just a message that it's okay to surrender, and it's okay not to be in control. It's okay to let Source be in control and guide us. And just imagine, like, if we could do that every moment of every day, just surrender and know that everything is going to work out. How far can that wind carry us? And where are we going to soar to? So I hope y'all are having an amazing day, and I love you all.